Okay. We are live. We're live. And welcome to the first official Tyesse Report. Listen, I'm dealing with some seasonal allergies, y'all. So y'all bear with me. I thank y'all for tuning in, Thai Squad. I know you're there. Thank you. Thank you to Pyro Media. It is a really momentous day when you can step into your dream, the first big step into your dream. It is a momentous day here at the Tyesse Report. So thank you to everybody. I'm not going to go into a long Academy Award winning speech, but thank you to everybody who has spoke a word of encouragement, donated, whatever you have done. Thank you. And thank you, Pyro Media, for this great rollout. Listen, we have a lot to get to, and we're only here for 30 minutes. So let's knock this out the park. Um, Okay, the first thing we want to do before we get started today, we want to do just a shout out or a reflection to our brother, founding father Boogie Machiavelli. So if you can pull that graphic up, Kwame, Boogie Machiavelli, founding father Boogie Machiavelli, was laid to rest over the weekend. We send our heartfelt condolences out to his family, to the House of Machiavelli, to the ballroom community, and to everyone who loved him. Listen, they say it's cliche, but people are leaving every day, and the LGBTQ community has really endured some losses these last, I would say, 24 months. So, you know, love. It's cliche. Love everyone a little bit, you know, stronger because people are leaving daily. And a lot of times you don't even get a chance to say goodbye. So Godspeed to Boogie Machiavelli and all of his friends and house members. Yeah, we're sending you a lot of love right now. The Tyesse Report. Okay. Okay, Thais, let's get down to business. Okay, let's get down to business. Some Thai Squad members have hit me up, right? A lot of Thai Squad members have hit me up, and they were like, "Well, Thais, girl, we know you to be, the girl for all of the tea and all of the, and putting it out there. And are you going to, say anything about this Larry Reed debacle? You can go ahead and put the Larry Reed graphic up. Okay, Okay, so listen, this is Larry Reed. If you don't know Larry Reed is a blogger. He deals with church scandals, church issues. He had a real, large interview with the legendary Denise Clark Bradford from the legendary Clark sisters. And Larry has done a lot of noted interviews. But there is another blogger who I won't name. There is another blogger who I won't name, but this blogger allegedly. Well, you know what? Let me back up a little bit. Let me. I was supposed to do this. Let me do this. Anything that is mentioned here on the Tyesse Report is from the blogosphere. Everything is alleged. I'm a social commentator, and I am commentating on things that are already out there in the blogosphere. Okay, so everything is alleged, and everything comes from the blogosphere that's already being discussed. Okay, now listen. This other blogger, who I won't name, has some really serious allegations that he's throwing out there against Larry Reed. Now, Larry Reed, in the last 24, 48 hours, has done a series of videos. One video is a little loaded. It's a little, okay. Talking about don't get sued, don't get sued like I did. It could be considered a veiled threat to the other blogger. Listen, apples and oranges. We don't know. Listen, okay. Here's the deal. If there's an allegation out there, there's an allegation of sexual impropriety, sexual abuse, whatever. If there's an allegation out there and it's your name attached to it, you would think that it would be something that you would really be on vocally speaking about, or you would serve a cease and desist, or you would be, you know, prepping of this big defamation lawsuit or whatever. But it just seems like to me that Larry is waiting it out. I don't know. I'm just saying. It seems like he's waiting this out to see if this will die off. But everybody on YouTube is talking about it. These allegations are very, very inflammatory if they are, you know, correct. And he's gonna have to really, 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 really do some cleanup on aisle 7, because at the end of the day, you have made a career off of exposing and, you know, doing all kinds of things within the church, you know, landscape. And listen, honey, if these allegations are true from this other blogger, I don't know. Listen, I'm just a blogger myself, but I'll say this and I'll move on. It is always the girls. It is always the girls with the most skeletons in their closet that's always trying to point out other people's skeletons and clean up other people's closets. I'm just saying. Now, this is what I'm going to do, Ty Squad. I'm going to wait until this story develops further. You know, this is like Jiffy cornbread in the oven, and it's still shaking. We're going to wait for this cornbread to fully brown, and then we'll be back. Listen. We are not scared to report this. We are just cautiously standing in the shadows like Jennifer Holliday and Dreamgirls. And we will see what happens. But Larry, oh, child. Larry! Okay. Did I do some chapstick, y'all? Did I do a little coat of this? Oh, okay. Okay, it's okay. All right. Okay. Listen, everybody knows what's going on. Good evening, everybody. I said I'm so used to being on in the evening. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Ty Squad. Listen. We're gonna leave Larry Reed. You can go ahead and kill that graphic, Kwame. Kill that graphic. We're gonna head over to Minneapolis, and the trial is in closing arguments right now. Listen, it could go to the jury as early as today. We just don't know. We just don't know. I'm believing that there's going to be some guilty verdict. We have no idea. We have no idea what's going to happen. We've gotten our hopes up many times before with the criminal justice system here in America, and it's only to be let down. So anything can happen, y'all. We're just believing God that some sort of justice is served. Now, our star docket item of the day, is, it's hard. It's hard for me to report on this, y'all. It's hard. You know, I'm a trans advocate, but we are mourning the untimely and just tragic murders of 2 trans women in Charlotte, North Carolina. Jada Peterson, age 29, Remy Fennell, we don't know how old she was, but Remy Fennell and Jada Peterson, both of Charlotte, North Carolina, were murdered. They are both believed to be sex workers. They were sex workers working out of a hotel. And these 2 losers that are in custody, Dontarius Long and Joel Brewer, okay, both are in custody for murder. They murdered these women. They worked in concert together, these 2 guys, and they murdered these 2 trans women there in the Charlotte area. Jada Peterson was murdered in West Charlotte, and Remy Fennell was murdered on another side of town in Charlotte. Now, Jada Peterson was murdered on Easter Sunday, and Remy Fennell was murdered a few days later on April 8th. Okay, here's the deal. So oftentimes, when you see stories and you read the comments, people automatically assume that this is some sort of story of women not disclosing their, identity or who they are. That's always the assumption. It's never the assumption that these trans women or anybody of trans identity or trans under the trans umbrella, trans women, trans men, whoever, it's never assumed that they are victims of just plain out violence. And that's what this case is. These men specifically targeted them because they were sex workers to rob them and kill them. So it has nothing to do about dishing a tea and didn't know no tea. I encourage everybody to do this. This is what I encourage everybody. It's personal to me because I've lived the life. I know the, the ins and outs of this. This is what I encourage people to do. Instead of assuming, instead of saying, well, this is probably what happened, try to find a trans woman, a trans man, and talk to them and understand their journey so that you can get a better idea, so that when these things happen, you just don't assume that it's one thing, Try to do that. It's sad. It's sad. Many know my story. Many know my journey. Back in the day, I was a sex worker. I did it all, and I survived it. I want to commend the Charlotte Police Department because they were able to get these guys in a timely manner. When I was out there in the late 90s and the early 2000s, the Los Angeles Police Department did not give a damn about trans women. They didn't give a damn about LGBTQ people that have been victims of violence. You were dead, you were injured, and that was just the end of it. We had several serial killers in Hollywood at the time. We had one serial killer who they assumed, they called him the Grim Sleeper, and he hadn't been really asleep. But listen, there's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, y'all, just get to know everybody in the acronym LGBTQ, not just from your letter, not just from the lesbian, not from just your whoever you are. Get to know other people in the acronym so that you have a better understanding of their journey. These two trans women out trying to make a living because employment for trans people is really non-existent in America. And if you live in the South, there are laws that strangle your growth, development, or trying to do anything to get out of the life. Okay? So, it's a little better here on the West Coast because it's a little more progressive, a little better. But this is not a utopia either for trans people. So most trans people tend to delve into sex work, as we call it, survival crimes. But we're praying for the families, and we hope that justice is served for these women, and that these two people that did this receive the harshest punishment that Charlotte can give them. Woo, that's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. That's a lot. Lori Lightfoot, Mayor Lori Lightfoot from Chicago, Chi-Town. Listen, all skin folks ain't kin folks. We learned that here, and we learned that here in Los Angeles with Jackie Lacey. Just because you see somebody and they're black or brown, that does not mean they have your best interest at heart. So the city of Chicago is at a reckoning right now. They may have to recall this woman, get her up out of there, because listen, at the rate that these police officers are killing people in Chicago, it is really, and the manner in which they are brutalizing black and brown bodies in Chicago, it's unfathomable. So she may have to go. Overall Mother Lightfoot, aka Elmer Fudd. Over the weekend, we lost Black Rob. You may remember his song, Whoa. Everybody was singing Whoa when it was out. And listen, it's been announced that Puff Daddy is going to be paying for or assisting in the funeral. But it's not helping because they're dragging Puff Daddy online right now. He did a tribute over the weekend, and people are just laying Mother the fuck out, okay? Because The reason why they're doing that is because, can we be honest? Black Rob was homeless and broke at the time of his death. And I know people say, well, that don't have nothing to do with Puff Daddy. No, it doesn't. But it shows you what happened with Mace and what happened with other bad boy artists. There is not a contingency plan in place. There's nothing in place to help these people once they leave and get ripped off and sign these, sign your name in blood contracts. There's nothing to help people. Every bad boy artist I know has some type of struggle, either financially, contractually. And then I think what makes people so mad is Puff Daddy then comes on and tries to tell these white corporations and white people how to handle us. When you have black people that you have dealt with, that you have not dealt with in the best. So that's why I think people have a problem with it. Like, girl, before you talk to these white corporations, Diddy, you need to help and deal with people that you have wronged and financially slighted over the years. Diddy. Okay. And health news. In health news today, you guys, half of America, that's half, 160,000. Okay, Tyesse, you messing up the math. 160 million people, y'all. 160 to 170 million people have gotten at least one vaccination. Okay, half of America. Okay, now listen, there are some surges in some states right now that are very troubling, like the great state of Michigan. So, okay, we got a note. Okay. They said that Diddy did help Black Rob through the years. Okay, I got that note. Okay, wonderful. Okay, we got the note. We just got to know that. Okay, why was he homeless? Thank you for that note. Why was he homeless then? Okay, so half of America has been vaccinated, but listen, y'all, we still don't want to get buck wild. We don't want to get buck wild out here. We're dealing with a lot right now. And yes, Damien, yes. Johan says Diddy deserves every drag. Every drag. Okay. Yes. So we're glad that people are getting vaccinated. Here in the Black community, it was a mess for a long time, y'all, in the Black community. So we're glad people are getting vaccinated. And other health news, listen. This is okay, Tyesse. We're gonna walk through this. Okay. The HIV rate, the top 3 cities with the highest HIV rates are not what people are thinking, and people are shocked because San Francisco and Atlanta they have a real stigma attached to them. San Francisco and Atlanta, and San Francisco is not even in the top 10 with HIV cases. Okay, San Francisco is not in the top 10. Atlanta is in the top 10, but it's not in the top 3. I'm going to give you the top 3. I ain't going to go through the whole list, y'all. But I'm going to give you the top 3 cities with the highest HIV rates right now. Coming in at number 3 is New Orleans. Okay, I'm like, wait a minute. New Orleans, the Big Easy? New Orleans. Coming in at number 2, Miami. Wait a minute, Miami? Oh my God, wait. Miami? Some of these cities, that goes to show you we need to stop stereotyping areas and demographics. And, Miami is number 2 with the highest concentration of HIV infections. And number one is Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Never in a million years. I'm thinking, first of all, Baton Rouge is not that big. And okay, listen, We need to stop throwing darts at Atlanta and San Francisco, okay? Because San Francisco is not even in the top 10. We need to be mindful of the things we say about these cities, because people live in Atlanta, they take it to heart. It's really, people live in San Francisco. It's like, girl, you know what? Even if we were, does it matter? Woo, Baton Rouge, never in a million years. Baton Rouge, what is going on in Baton Rouge? And you would think with that going on, a lot of these states with these Republican governors, while they're doing things like anti-trans legislation, anti-LGBTQ legislation, they will be funding their local health departments to handle this crisis. I'm just saying. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and start the word for the day right now, y'all, and get the word for the day out here so we can get it done and knock this out the park. I thank y'all for tuning in today. I thank y'all for tuning in. It's time for the word for the day. And I brought a word the other day. I brought a word to you guys about, living in LGBTQ life and all of that. And God has been good and God has been gracious. But with some of the stories that I brought to you today, I just want to say this. The word for the day is be very comfortable with the choices you made to take care of yourself and how you did it. Listen, at the end of the day, you did what you had to do to make it. Don't let anybody shame you. Don't let anybody guilt you into believing that you could have done anything differently. If you are an LGBTQ person, even my hetero family, whatever you did on your journey, the choices you made to take care of yourself, whether it was sex work, it may have been you had to do some things illegally, whatever you did, be comfortable with the journey and how you made it thus far, because all of it, listen, take it from me, I've done everything. All of it shapes who you are. All of it shapes who you are. And then you can look back on it, and I'm not that person anymore. I came through it. I survived it. And I can tell the story. I can tell the testimony. Listen, full disclosure, I've been a sex worker. I've done financial crimes. I've done every crime you can think of. And here I am at 45 years old, helping other people virtually, giving them, some stock and putting a little starch in their back. So it's not where you began. It's not the journey in between. It's what the ultimate destination is. And God knows what it is. God knows when I was in Hollywood, I would be right here today on the Tyesse Report, launching my show, talking to you and telling you that it's no secret what God can do. What he's done for others, he'll do for you. God knows all, he sees all. When you're in it, you can't see anything but the day ahead of you. You can't see anything. You don't see further down the road, but God sees further down the road. You can't, but he does. So don't let anybody, a lot of times in the Black community, people will shame you because of your past, what you did, how you did it. Well, girl, what was in the motel work? What was in there sex working for in the first place? People don't understand your story, how you got to where you were. Don't let nobody shame you, honey. Listen, because the truth is, some of them people that shame you, if you knew they real true Hollywood story, girl, evangelist, for real. Thank y'all for tuning in today to the Tyesse Report. We'll be right back here tomorrow with an all-new broadcast. We are monitoring the developments in Minneapolis. Listen, Minneapolis, that city can go up in flames at any minute. We're watching, we're praying for justice for Dante Wright, George Floyd, and everybody, Black, brown, and indigenous bodies across the country. Thank y'all for tuning in today. I appreciate the love. Listen, continue to support. We need your financial support. Listen, evangelists, we need your financial support. We're doing big things. We're growing. We got a lot of stuff we got to get. And we never needed your financial support. We need it now. Nothing's too small. I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Now listen. I don't know if y'all caught this. I was a little nervous today, y'all. I don't know why I'm nervous. I have no idea why I'm nervous. I'm a bad bitch. That's why I don't understand why I'm nervous. But it may show a little bit, y'all. But I'm a little nervous today because this is my first time in this capacity. So maybe tomorrow the nerves will be eased up a little bit, you know. Anyways, have a great day. Kwame, go ahead and roll our outro. I love you, Ty Squad. See you tomorrow.